Well, hello there. I hope that you are enjoying this very first CLI Canadian Conference. My name is Pastor Ivan Sharp. I am a Canadian, and I'm here today to introduce you to the Canada Club. Back in November of 2020, I had the opportunity to meet for the first time with a group of CLI volunteers that cross the country via Zoom, and we are the nucleus of the Canadian team. At that point in time, we decided upon a few initiatives, and one of those initiatives was to create and build a social platform where we could join together with CLI Canadian students. And so now we have the Canada Club. So out of this has come a few things that we're quite pleased with. One was that we are the very first CLI club. Okay, and if you go on to the CLI network, you will see that there are several others who have now followed us, but we were the very first CLI club. We were also the very first national group to be on the new CLI network, and this has been initiated by this new Grow CLI Canada team. So already things are happening. It's maintained, the Canada Club is maintained by Canadian volunteers. The content comes from Canadian CLI students and CLI volunteers. And so some of you have already had the opportunity to join, and we're glad to have you. Welcome. For those who haven't, we want to encourage you to do the same. Presently we have, it says 42 members, but we actually have 43 members. The target is actually 100 members by the time we get to the end of June. And so we got a little work to do, but we have a lot of CLI students and alumni in Canada, and we would like to find a way to connect ourselves. There's activity almost every day on the CLI Canada Club, and usually multiple times in a day. And as the membership grows, as there are more people at the table, the activity will grow as well. So we know that will become a more active location than it already is today. So the question is, why do we need a Canada Club? And I'm going to answer that question by asking you a few questions of yourself. The first one is, have you ever been studying at CLI online and felt like you're all alone? Has there been a time when you said, is there anyone out there who can empathize with you? Have you wondered if there is any CLI student close by that just might want to do coffee? Or maybe had a question about how CLI works specifically for Canadians? See, you're likely not alone, but the question is, without Canada Club, how would we know? Today I'm going to share with you 5 key areas of the Canada Club: the concept, the exclusivity, the features, the how to use it, and the vision. And we'll go through this and bring you up to snuff on the Canada Club. First of all, the concept. The idea was to have a place for Canadian CLI students to meet and gather. For us to have a place to feel more engaged with the CLI campus and with students in general, especially Canadian students, and to have a simple solution where students could encourage each other, share blessings, request prayer, and the list goes on and on. The sky's really the limit. This is really the idea, was to have a place where we could meet other Canadian CLI students, especially those who are close at home. Beyond that, we knew that we can use this Canada Club to help us to establish physical mentor centers right across Canada, and that's part of our plan as well, and you'll see more of that in the months ahead. We want to also encourage ministry partnerships, so CLI students partnering with CLI students in ministry, to have an opportunity a place to deal with issues unique to CLI students in Canada. Of course, we want to promote and encourage ministry in Canada. We have all been blessed with a gift from CLI of education and training in ministry, and it is important that we take those seeds and we now see them, the fruit come forward. And so we want to expand ministry in Canada from our CLI student body. We also want to promote CLI in general. So the scripture of Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. And that's really the grassroots of the Canada Club, is a place where we can kind of come together and challenge each other, come together and encourage each other, to lift each other up, to pray for each other, and to see ourselves grow as men and women of God as we move forward in ministry. The Canada Club is exclusive. It's exclusive to Canadian CLI students and alumni only. Nobody else, well, except for a very few VIPs from head office that eked their way in. And we are glad to have them there because we may need them to answer some of our questions. So there are very, very few of them, but there are a couple of them there. But other than that, it is exclusive to Canadian CLI students and alumni. It is a private group. It is not public, and you can only gain access. It's only available by invitation or through the CLI network itself, where you would basically go in and request access, and then we would give it to you. So there are a few features, at least presently. We have a home area. That's the main area to review content and leave comments. This is where most activity will take place. There's an info section that describes the details of the group. This is still a little bit under development, but there's a little bit there, and that will grow. The media section has been growing, and that's an area where we have access to all shared pictures, videos, audios, and other files. And this is a great place for you to actually share resources and media content as well. There's a forum section, and this part is a little bit underutilized right now, but it will be growing, I'm sure, as more members are in place. There will be more activity. This area provides for special interest areas, where a focus is on a specific area, and that can take place by itself off to the side. It presently has two areas of focus in the forum. One is a prayer request area, and the other is Testimony Thursdays. I will let you know that you do not have to wait to Thursday to have a testimony. Go ahead and share it. So this is what it looks like. This is the Canada Club. This is our home. And so we welcome you to join us here. And as you can see, this beautiful picture of, I believe it's probably British Columbia. This is our reflection of Canada. And we have this opportunity to be able to participate with each other in this place. So how do you use it? Well, to get started, first of all, you need to have a CLI network account. That's as simple as basically signing up and getting one. It doesn't cost you anything. It's basically, if you go through the same place where you would take your courses, you can get connected to the CLI network through there. Also, there was an email that I sent out, I'm sure, that if you got that, there's a link for that. You will have, at that point in time, once you've set up your CLI network account, you will create a personal profile. I encourage you to include your city and province there as well. If you want to do coffee with somebody, they're going to need to know where you are, because somebody in Vancouver is probably not going to have coffee with somebody in Toronto, at least without an expensive airfare. The second thing is, use your real name if you can. If you can't, we understand, but if you can use your real name, it just will make it so much easier when we're communicating with each other, when we're praying for each other, that we're using your name and not some online moniker. Okay, use your ministry pick if you have one. If you don't have one, I encourage you to get one, because as you move through ministry yourself, you will be putting your face out there, and you want to make sure that you've got something that's relatively professional and reflects you as a minister of the Lord. Okay. So then, if you're in the group itself, the CLI network, you'll see that there's a menu down the left side. There'll be a section there called Groups. Click on that, and then scroll down until you find the Canada Club. Okay, request membership at that point in time, and when we receive your request, we will manually check against the CLI database for your name and for your location. I go back to what I said earlier. If you use your real name and your real location, it makes things a lot easier as well. And you, in order to be part of the Canada Club, you need to be a CLI student from Canada. Okay, so we need to do a double check on that. Once we have done that, we add you to the members list, and then you are good to go. So looking ahead, this is our vision, that there are many other ways we may be able to use the Canada Club, such as hosting online events like this one. We don't need necessarily to go through Zoom, okay, and we can promote that online event as well. Sharing ministry job opportunities, so somebody's aware of something that's going on in Halifax and they're living in Victoria. They can't take advantage of that ministry opportunity, but somebody else who's a CLI brother or sister might be just the candidate that needs to be there. So there'll be an opportunity to share ministry job opportunities. There might be opportunity to establish accountability partnerships. There's so much that's being done now online, And so we want to promote that with each other through this little network. Promoting live face-to-face events is also important, and this is really near and dear to my heart because it's really a dream of mine to be able to establish a physical ceremony for graduation and ordinations for CLI in Canada, and not just where I am, but right across Canada. And so by having the opportunity of the Canada Club to test to make sure that there's interest, that there's volunteers available, that there are people that are basically willing to step up to the plate, will let us know in advance whether it's viable or not. And the list really kind of goes on and on. We also, of course, want to hear from our Canadian CLI students who are members of the Canada Club. So if you're not a member, get to be a member, and we want to hear from you. Share your suggestions, encourage with your comments, make us aware of any issues that there might be, put forward any brand new ideas. Technology is always changing, and so we want to hear about it. And we want to be the first ones there, not the last ones there. So we always want to be getting better. So there are some upcoming changes as well. There was a recent CLI announcement that was made to inform us that there's a tech change that's coming. It's due shortly, and we do expect some changes to the Canada Club, but I can assure you that we remain committed to this resource. Okay, so we look forward to any new features that this change may bring, and we'll be looking to put those features into play as well. And in the meantime, I can assure you that we will make sure that all Canada Club members are kept informed of any changes. So now it's your turn. Join the Canada Club. That's the end of my presentation. I hope you're enjoying the conference. I thank you very much for your patience, and I encourage you just to smile. Bye for now.